So is there a class before this class? I mean from 2 to 3? Okay, no, regular joining. Any doubt from the last class? So we were discussing Gauss law in the last class, I think. And the Gauss law says that if there is some charge distribution of any shape, because of this charge distribution, there is electric field. Okay. And that electric field has this property. Take any closed surface and integral of electric field.
Sir,
Yes.
doubt is there from the last class.
Yes.
In that charge diagram.
Okay, so let me see what was the last lecture.
First you have asked, but suddenly power is gone, sir, so I couldn't ask.
Okay, so what time was your class yesterday? 2.
Sir, morning, sir, I think.
Morning, 24th.
Morning 9 o'clock.
25, 25, 24. Okay, so I think the file is lost from here. Anyway,
Sir, 25, 6, 9 o'clock, sir. 9 a.m.
all right. 24th morning, right? No?
Sir, 24th.
24th D group, this one. This is Stokes theorem. This is Faraday law. Okay.
Yes, sir, the charge diagram where you were showing that field.
So you mean this file? I mean this. Any problem with this equation?
Not equation, sir, the diagram, sir. I want to
Diagram.
ask one question.
So let me proceed further. Due to large objects, you mean this, huh? This one?
Sir, for the point charge, you have drawn one diagram now, sir. It is going radially outward, the field.
Let me see. This one.
Okay, sir. If diagram is not there, we can imagine.
Okay, so let me discuss Gauss law. So it is a problem
Okay,
about
sir.
Gauss law, right?
I just wanted to ask if we take any point other than, yes, sir. If we take any point other than where the charge is, what will be the divergence?
If we take any point which is other than.
You have taken one point, no, sir. You have represented with Q.
Okay, if that point is not origin, then what will happen?
If I take any other point except that point, what will be the divergence there? will it be positive or there will be no divergence?
See, divergence depends on the vector field. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So divergence is due to vector field and you can calculate it any point you want. डाइवर्जेंस वेक्टर फील्ड की वजह से होता है, उसका आप किसी भी पॉइंट पे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. वो ओरिजिन हो सकता है, वो कोई और पॉइंट भी हो सकता है.
But
Okay, so see, I have given you some problems in tutorial, some similar problems. Please solve them, and you still have any doubt, then we can discuss it in tutorial. All right?
okay, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I had a doubt in that equation E is equal to Q R1 vector over R2 minus R1 vector square.
You mean this? So what was your problem?
Sir, the question was, sir, the problem was not in this equation, sir. Yeah, in this equation, sir. Sir, where from that R dash vector came?
What is the meaning of this r prime vector or r dash vector, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why
Okay, so
is it there?
all right, so I'll discuss some numerical examples and then it will be clear to you where is r dash and how do we use it. Okay. I mean, when we will discuss numericals, all these things will appear there, and from there you will get the idea.
Right, sir.
So Gauss law says that this is some surface. It can be of any surface. It can be a surface of any type. Only property is it is a closed surface. Okay. And let us say there is some charge lying inside this surface. The charge can be of any type. Okay. Let us say total charge is plus q. And obviously because of this charge, there will be electric field. Let us say this is the electric field. Okay. Then according to Gauss law, the flux going out from this surface, which is how much? E dot ds. So vector ds is outward here. Vector E depends on the distribution of charge. So this is the flux passing out from a small elementary area. And if I integrate it over the whole surface, total flux passing out from this closed surface has to be equal to Q is upon epsilon naught. What is Q? Net charge inside the closed surface. Okay. So this is Gauss law, or you can also say that this is Gauss law in integral form. I can also write same thing using Gauss theorem. What does Gauss theorem say? Any function f dot ds over a closed surface is equal to this del dot f dv. Okay. Take the divergence of the same vector field and integrate it over the whole volume. So I can apply the same thing for electric field, that is also vector field. So what I get? Surface integral of electric field is equal to divergence of electric field का volume integral. Okay, this is left hand side. What is right hand side? Q by epsilon naught. 1 by epsilon naught Q. What is Q? Let us say volume charge density is rho. Volume charge density means charges per unit volume. Then what is Q? If rho is the volume charge density,
Rho V.
if you multiply it with a small volume element, this is the total charge inside this small volume. And if I integrate it over the whole volume, this is the total charge inside the full volume. So what is the volume here? This much. This is the volume here. Okay. So I am going to calculate how much charge is there inside this volume. And that is equal to this number. Obviously, I need to know density for this. Okay. Now let us write both the things here. On the left hand side, we have del dot E dV, and on the right hand side I can write, so 1 by epsilon naught is here also, 1 by epsilon naught rho dV, or we can also write so this integral is 0. So can I say that this part is equal to 0 or no? Can I say that this integral is 0 only when this term is 0 everywhere?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why?
सर डीवी कभी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता.
Because sir, we are integrating over a closed
Okay, so
surface.
all right, dV is always positive. I agree with you. But ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि the term inside bracket is positive somewhere it may be negative, and total summation is 0.
So that is independent of limit right now. So it is for any general point. So it is always 0.
See, this is always true. Always true means whether you take this surface, you can also take a surface like this. It is true for this surface also. It is true for this surface also. It is true for any general surface you choose. Okay. So when it is true for any sort of surface, then the only possible acceptable answer is that this term is 0 at each and every point. Then only you will get the 0 result for any possible integral. किसी एक खास इंटीग्रल के लिए 0 होता है, तभी पॉसिबल है कि कुछ पार्ट पॉजिटिव कुछ पार्ट नेगेटिव. But if it is 0 for all cases, whatever cases you consider, then only possible answer is that this bracket term is 0 at each and every point. Or divergence is equal to rho by epsilon naught. So this is also Gauss law or Gauss theorem. But it is now in differential form. So this or this, Both have same meaning. We are just writing in a different style. Okay. Both are equivalent. You can use whichever you prefer. So this is Gauss law, and we can use this Gauss law to calculate electric field for various objects. So let me consider some good examples for it. Spherical cell means it's a sphere, it's a hollow sphere. So it is like this. Here it is air or vacuum. Inside is also air or vacuum. So this is a spherical cell, and on this cell some charge is distributed. Okay. Question is electric field at a distance r from center. So this is the center of this cell, and I want to calculate electric field at this point. So this distance is r. So what do we do? How do I calculate electric field?
Sir, inside there will be no electric field because charge is mounted on the outside of the shell. For any point outside, we use Gauss law.
Okay, right. See, one very genuine but not feasible answer is that take a small piece of charges here and calculate electric field due to this small piece of charges at this point P. You know the answer, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Let us say this small charges is delta Q. Calculate this distance. Let us say it is some r square r cube. Now you know the electric field due to this small piece. Integrate it over the whole surface and you will get the answer. There is no fault in the explanation, but mathematics will be quite heavy. It may be even impossible to carry out the integrations. Second technique is use the Gauss law. So how do I use Gauss law? So I am going to draw a imaginary surface which is passing through this point P. Okay. Let us say this surface is this. So this Gaussian surface here is also a sphere. Okay. So this Gaussian surface is a sphere again. Radius is r obviously. And let us say this cell has a radius capital R. Now according to Gauss law, the electric flux going out through this Gaussian surface, this is Gaussian surface, follow this rule. What is the rule? Integral E dot ds is equal to total charge inside the Gaussian surface upon epsilon naught. Let me draw the surface here. So this is a spherical cell. Okay, there is charge distributed on the surface uniformly. I want to calculate field at this point P, and I draw a Gaussian surface which is also spherical, and it is passing through the point P. This distance is kept small r, and let me assume that the spherical cell given to me, obviously it will have some radius which is constant, capital R. What is the direction of electric field at point P? Can you imagine?
Outward.
It is
Radially
out-
outwards.
Radial.
Radially outwards.
Okay. So I can say that vector E, I mean, this is a general answer. आपको कुछ नहीं मालूम है तो ये तो लिख ही सकते हैं, right? In general. But here, you know, there is no theta or phi component. It has to be radially outward. Okay. For E phi cap here. Here, obviously, E theta is equal to 0. E phi is equal to 0. What about, let me take some small area element on this surface. The magnitude is ds. What is the direction?
Sir,
Radially outward.
Right. So what is the left hand side? E dot ds is equal to er r cap dot ds r cap is equal to r cap, but r cap is 1, er ds. Now this er, I mean, it's the magnitude of electric field. Can it be different at different point on the surface?
No, sir.
It is same all over the surface, right? So I can take it out. So what is the integral of the surface? So this is a small elementary area. I am taking the integration over the whole surface. It means area of full surface. That is 4 pi r square. This is equal to what? 1 by epsilon q. What is q? Total charge on spherical cell, right? So what I get? ER is this. Q by R square. So as long as I am outside the spherical cell, this answer is valid, right? I mean, for or R greater than R or R even equal to R, I will have the same scenario. What if I want to measure electric field inside? Inside means here. I want to measure electric field at this point, T2. Then what is the answer?
0.
0.
Left hand side is still same. ER 1 upon 4 by R square. There is a problem on the right hand side. How much is the charge inside?
0.
0.
0.
Okay. Or so this is this example you have seen many times. It's one of the classic example. Now let me modify this example little bit. I have a cylindrical surface like this. Okay. And I want to measure electric field. So this is the center of the cylinder, and I want to measure electric field at a r distance from the cylinder, from the center of the cylinder. Can I use Gauss law? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What should be the Gaussian surface?
Cylindrical.
Sir, same cylinder.
Cylinder.
Okay, so you are saying a surface like this.
Should also work.
Okay, so let us first focus on a cylindrical surface. So cylindrical means a surface like this, right? Any surface which is passing through this point. Let me use some other color. Something like this, huh? Is it? Or some of you are answering spherical will also work. So spherical means this is the cylinder. ये charged cylinder है. A small piece. And spherical means
Sir, I think both will not work.
and third is any more suggestion? So how many of you are in favor of cylinder? Can you please raise your hands?
सर इस सिलेंडर का एक्सिस दोनों सिलेंडर का एक्सिस सेम है वर्टिकल एक्सिस
So the origin is coinciding. Origin coincide कर रहा है और मैंने सिलेंडर इतना बड़ा बनाया कि जिस पॉइंट पे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड चाहिए वो पॉइंट टच कर जाता है. Okay, so
If
there
length
are,
of cylinder is infinite, then it will work. Otherwise, it will not work.
I mean, length cannot be infinite because my point is at a finite distance. So all the length has to be finite. Infinite नहीं कर सकते हम. All right. Now please put down hands. How many in favor of spherical surface? 3. Guys, give me a few seconds. Okay, and how many of you are in favor that both surfaces will not work? Okay. So let me first give you the answer. Put down your hands, please.
Sir, we
Yes.
use a in cylinder inside the Gaussian surface.
Say it again. If we use Gaussian
Sir,
surface.
we use, I mean, like rod-like structure inside the Gaussian surface. I mean, as a Gaussian surface, sir, inside of our cylinder.
I'm not getting your point.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir is,
Let you continue.
sir is telling to take a Gaussian surface inside the cylinder.
Okay, if I am
Same as
interested
the
in
shape of
electric field
cylinder.
inside.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll discuss that case later. Right now, my point is outside the cylinder. So let me first answer. This surface will not work. Spherical will also not work. And obviously, then this is the correct answer. Now, why I am saying so? Let me first start with the easiest explanation. Let us take a spherical surface. Okay. So I am going to focus on this part. So what does Gauss law say? Integral E dot ds is equal to total charge inside divided by epsilon naught. This can be calculated, right? What about this part? So what is the electric field? Let us say electric field here is. Can you guess the direction of electric field at this point P?
Sir, it's tough to get the direction in between E bar and DS bar
Right.
because it will change.
A more general answer is this, right? Obviously, like let us say electric field is like this. Let us say it is horizontal. When it has some radial component, it may have some theta and phi components as well. I do not know. What is ds vector? Ds vector is clear, right? It depends on what is the surface. It's obviously ds r cap. There is no dispute here. What is this integral? Same as before. Vector E dot ds. Er r cap E theta theta cap E phi phi cap dot ds r cap integral equal to r cap dot r cap is 1. I am getting er ds. Theta cap dot r cap is 0. Phi cap dot r cap is also 0. This integral is equal to q by epsilon naught. Can I take er outside the integral? Outside means can I assume it is a constant? Constant assume करने का क्या मतलब है? The radial component here radial component here, radial component here, here, or everywhere should be constant. क्या ऐसा है यहाँ पे?
No, sir. No.
So ER may not be constant. So how do I do this integration? It is like integral of some function R ds, and I do not know what is this function. If I do not know this function, how can I integrate it? Right? So first of all, I cannot integrate. Let us say I can integrate it. मान लीजिए किस तरीके से कर भी लिया आपने. What will you get? Only ER. इन components का क्या होगा? Okay. So Gauss law does not say that you can always find the integration. Gauss law is a theorem which is always true. आप कहीं से इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड लाइए, उसका रेडियल कंपोनेंट ढूंढिए, put it here, do this integration, that integral will be equal to this number. Okay. गॉस लॉ कभी आपको गारंटी नहीं दे रहा कि आप इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड कैलकुलेट ही कर लेंगे, बट व्हाटएवर इज द फील्ड वो इसको जरूर सेटिस्फाई करेगा. So how did we calculate electric field in the previous case? वह हम लकी थे. What was the lux factor? E theta was 0, E phi was 0, electric field was as easy as this. Not only this, हमें दिख रहा है कि ER एक constant होगा because it is symmetrical. So there are many symmetries, and that because of all this symmetry we were able to get this answer. Do we have any symmetry here? No. Same thing applies to this surface. Let us say this is electric field. Since it is a cylindrical system, so ER R cap plus E theta theta cap plus EZ Z cap. Okay. What is the surface integral on the curved surface? ये जितना भी curved region है. What is the surface vector for this? DSR cap. जो ऊपर का फ्लैट रीजन है, यहाँ पे सरफेस वेक्टर क्या है? ds z cap. जो नीचे का फ्लैट सरफेस है, इसका s वेक्टर क्या है? ds z cap minus. So what is the complete integral? Integral E dot dsr cap plus integral E dot ds z cap. This is curved surface. Let me call it ds1, ds2 plus integral E. This is top surface, flat surface. E dot ds3 z cap minus z cap. This is bottom flat surface. The summation of these three integral has to be equal to what? Q by epsilon naught. Okay. Now the same exercise. इसमें से कौन कौन से कंपोनेंट आप बता सकते हैं कि नॉन जीरो है, कांस्टेंट है या वेरी करेंगे? व्हाट अबाउट दिस ER? क्या ये कर्व सरफेस पे हर जगह कांस्टेंट होगा?
Yes sir,
No, sir.
constant.
सोच समझ के बताइए.
सर सेम हाइट जो छोटा वाला सिलेंडर है उसके हाइट तक सेम होगा, लेकिन जब उसके ऊपर या नीचे जाएंगे तो अलग अलग आएगा.
Okay, so it depends on what is the height of the Gaussian surface. So if I want to measure electric field within the same height, then this is constant, otherwise it may change. Okay. What about E theta and Z cap components? So theta is tangential to this curved surface, and Z means it is also tangential to surface but in vertical direction. So you can see there is a lots of complication now. I mean, for curved part, E theta is 0, Ez is 0, and Er is not 0. For flat part, flat part is very complicated. On this flat surface, can you imagine the orientation of electric field? What is the electric field at this point? किस direction में होगा? So that is also very complicated, right? And because of all these problems, and we have only one equation, so we cannot solve electric field for asymmetrical cases. So let me summarize in 2 lines. Gauss law is always true. But it cannot help you calculate electric field for asymmetrical cases. Only symmetrical arrangement of charge electric field of only symmetrical arrangement charges can be calculated using Gauss law. ओके, तो ऐसा नहीं गॉस लॉ ट्रू नहीं है, गॉस लॉ ट्रू है, आप उसको यूज नहीं कर सकते एसिमेट्रिकल केसेस में कंप्लीट फील्ड निकालने के लिए. फॉर सिमेट्रिकल केसेस इट इज पॉसिबल. लेट मी गिव यू वन मोर एग्जांपल.
Sir,
यस,
sir, using this cylindrical surface, at least we can find the electric field inside the cylinder, no, sir? That
Okay,
is also not possible.
right. So let me give you this example and then it will be clear to you. So let me tell you what I am going to do now. Case 1. Electric field due to a wire of finite length. Okay, finite length means, let us say this is the origin, I mean this is some point, this is the wire, and I want to calculate field at this point. So the horizontal distance from this wire is r. Okay, this is height h1 and this is height h2. Okay. Calculate electric field at this point P. What is given to you? Line charge density or linear charge density. is equal to lambda coulomb per meter. How much is the total charge on this wire then? Unit length में इतना charge है lambda.
लैम्डा
Sir, lambda into h1 plus h2.
Right? आपको कोई थ्योरम नहीं पढ़ना है, you can do it directly. कैसे करेंगे? एक छोटा सा पीस लीजिए. कितना डिस्टेंस पर है ये पीस यहाँ से? r स्क्वायर, लेट अस से दिस इज y प्लस y स्क्वायर का स्क्वायर रूट, राइट? कैलकुलेट इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड हेयर. उसके दो कंपोनेंट कीजिए, वन अलोंग दिस, वन अलोंग वर्टिकल. नाउ इंटीग्रेटेड फ्रॉम y इज इक्वल टू माइनस h2 से y इज इक्वल टू h1. ओके, और देखिए दोनों कंपोनेंट्स का समेशन क्या आ रहा है. जनरल आंसर, आई मीन जनरल टेक्निक फ्रॉम द फंडामेंटल फॉर्मूला. सेकंड केस that you can do, it will take some time, maybe 13-14 minutes, but please give it that time. Second case is this: electric field due to a wire of infinite length. Now h1 is going to infinite, h2 is also going to infinite. Okay, case 3, a cylinder of radius r and height h1 above the point and h2 below the point. So what I am doing? Nothing. Here I was taking a wire. Now I have replaced this wire by a very thin cylinder. सब कुछ पहले जैसे ही है. I'm just using a cylinder now. Okay. And for your convenience, this is a solid cylinder. All right. And this is the point R from the center of this cylinder. So इसको change कर देते हैं. This is not R. Let us say this is S. Okay. So this radius is S. S is a constant. Calculate electric field again at this point. This is H2. This is H1. And since it is a solid cylinder, volume charge density is rho. Total charge कितना है यहाँ? Q is equal to rho pi s square h. Okay. H1 plus H2. Try to solve. ये होगा नहीं आसानी से, डिफिकल्ट है. केस 4 इज infinite cylinder. Means h1 is going to infinity, h2 is also going to infinity. Case 6, where is case 1? Here. Use Gauss law in case 1. Okay. Case 7, use Gauss law in case 2. Okay. Similarly, no, 3 now. How many cases are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is 5. This is 6. Case 7 is this. Gauss law in case 3. And 8 is Gauss law in case 4. And case 9 is this. How many answers are matching? So it's a big problem now, but unless you do it, your confusions will not be solved. So let me briefly ask you, you will get some answer in this case 1. If you apply Gauss theorem, will you get the same answer? Use
No,
a
sir.
cylindrical Gaussian surface and do the thing.
No, sir.
Okay. If I calculate case 2 and compare it with the corresponding Gaussian result, then
It's same.
so it works with Gauss law, huh?
Yes, sir.
And let me make my stamp. Correct. Case 3,
Sir, not same.
not same, right? Case 4,
सर वो भी देखा नहीं मैंने.
Same.
ये सर सेम आएगा सर इसका भी आंसर.
okay. So I have given answer to problem 9, I mean case 9 here. Case 3, I mean please don't waste much time, it is not easy to do. आप चाहे तो case 3 ignore कर सकते हैं. But please solve case 1. Case 2 using both of the methods. Case 2 मुश्किल नहीं है. Case 1 में जो भी आंसर आया है उसमें लिमिट लगानी है. h1 tends to infinity, h2 tends to infinity. So this is 15 minutes. This is 5 minutes. It is a lengthy problem. पता नहीं इसका आंसर भी आपको मिलेगा या नहीं. Ignore it. Case 4, infinite cylinder. And since you cannot solve case 3, use only Gauss law here. But you can still find out whether this answer is true or not. So how much time it will take? 5 minutes. Okay. कैसे पता करेंगे जो गॉस लॉ से आंसर मिला है सही भी है या नहीं? Any trick? एक ट्रिक
सर
है.
इसको एक वायर बोल देंगे.
See, if you apply the limit s tends to 0 here, क्या होगा? S tends to 0 means your cylinder is shrinking to a wire. It means your answer should match with case 2, right? Case 2 आपने दो तरीके से वेरीफाई किया ही है, डायरेक्ट एंड बाय गॉस लॉ. So case 2 is definitely correct. उसमें तो कोई dispute है ही नहीं. If you take s tends to 0 limit, that will become case 2. So you can verify from this technique as well. So 15 plus 5 plus 5, 25 minutes. So give this much time that is required, and then only you can recognize where you can apply Gauss theorem, where you cannot apply. Okay. Second part is how do we deal with inside? Can we use Gauss theorem inside the surface? So we have the same restrictions there also, but that we will discuss in the next class. Any doubt with this discussion?
No, sir.
So I'm going to stop now. Give this 30 minutes. It won't take much time. It is necessary. हो सकता है या फिर एग्जाम में भी आए. So it is anyway required. And we will discuss remaining part in the next class.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yes.
सर पिछले क्लास का भी शायद पीडीएफ नहीं डाला है सर अभी तक.
So the PDF for last class I lost. Somehow the file could not be saved, and there is no copy with me now. You can take the relevant screenshot from the video file and make your own PDF.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर.
सर
Somehow, yes.
आप किसी और ग्रुप को पढ़ाते हैं वो वाला पीडीएफ डाल दीजिएगा ना.
The groups are not synchronized. Okay, I'll upload, but that will also be difficult for you. I will upload, don't worry. But since groups are not synchronized, I am discussing different things. So I think that, and it's like a rough work. You can understand only your own rough work. किसी दूसरे का rough work आप नहीं समझ पाएंगे, right? So वो आपको ज़्यादा परेशान करेगा. I will upload if you request, but कोई फायदा नहीं है उसका.
सर
Yes.
एक बार डाल दीजिएगा, देख लेंगे अगर कुछ होगा तो.
All right, I'll upload. Don't worry. Anything else?
सर आज ही कर दीजिएगा. नोट्स बनाने पड़ेंगे वापस कल संडे सैटरडे.
I'll upload by today evening. Don't worry.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Okay, so I'm going to end this meeting now.
Thank you, sir.